Hey everyone, welcome back here. Today I'm going to show you a very useful technique for solving the problems that we have in our life. Now, our life is full of problems, right? We have a lot of problems in many different areas of our life. Some are related to our health, some are related to our relationships, some are related to work, and in many cases we feel powerless over those problems. And the truth is, in many of those problems, we actually are powerless. We can't really do much about those problems. And the best solution to those problems is to just ignore them and not let them interfere in our peace of mind. But there are certain problems which we do have control over, and the best thing that we can do is to solve them using systematic methods. But very often, when we try to solve these problems, we just don't look at systematic methods. We try to solve them using random, haphazard approaches, and when we fail, we let that failure disturb our peace of mind. This absence of a systematic method of solving our problems is very concerning because problems are everywhere and we need to solve them to live a happy life. So in this video, I'm going to share with you one of the most important techniques that I have personally used to solve a lot of my problems, and you can also apply this technique to your own problems, and it is proven to help me a lot in solving my problems. So the technique that I'm talking about is called root cause analysis. Now, you might have come across this name in maybe your school, maybe you read it in some research paper, maybe it's a technique that you use at work. And if you are familiar with this technique, then you'll know just how important and how good it is at solving problems. And the best thing is that it's very easy to implement. However, in many cases, it is portrayed only as a technique that solves problems related to business and industry and production, whereas actually we can apply it to our own lives as well. And it is actually being applied in a lot of fields without really knowing or without really calling it that way, right? So for instance, in software engineering, finding a bug. If you're finding a bug, you don't just look at what the error message says. You look at what is causing the error message. And this is being used by doctors as well. If you have a symptom, they don't just try to cure that symptom, they try to identify the root cause behind that symptom. What exactly is the root cause analysis technique and how can we apply it to our lives? This is what I'm going to tell you right now. Root cause analysis is a technique in which a problem is solved by identifying and catering to the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem is the underlying reason which causes the problem to occur in the first place. So first we need to identify what problems we have. And these don't really need to be the root cause problems. These can be the surface level problems that we can experience in our daily life. So for instance, you might have the problem that maybe you are overweight or maybe you are underweight. Maybe you don't have a lot of energy by the end of the day. Maybe you're not enjoying your life as much as you want to. Maybe your friendship is not working out. Maybe a business relationship is not working out. And all these problems are surface level problems. Right now, we're just simply at the surface. We're looking at what we can experience in our daily life. This is the input of the problem that we can perceive in our from the basic five senses and maybe the sixth sense as well in our simple daily life. And in the mundanity of the daily routine, it's enough to experience this much. To actually solve these problems, you want to take whatever you have experienced and try to identify what are the causes behind that problem. So I'm going to take the example of being overweight. So if you are overweight, you might want to look at what is the reason because you are overweight. One possible cause is that you are just eating too much. Another possible cause is that you are having too little physical activity. And if neither of these are the cases, then there is a third possibility, which is that there is probably some form of medical condition which makes you overweight and prevents you from losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight. Once you identify which of these three reasons applies to you, now you can reapply the technique of root cause analysis to identify the underlying reason behind the underlying reason of the original problem. So for instance, if you are eating too much, you might want to ask, why? Why am I eating too much? Is it because simply there are too many options that I have? Am I making it too easy for me to access food at any given time? Or just things like that, right? You get the idea. It is best to repeat this exercise for at least two to three times, and you just stop at whenever the problem that has been identified as a root cause seems in your control. And it's very easy to control those things. So for instance, if you identify that you are overweight, it's because you are eating too much, and you are eating too much because food is readily available at the place where you spend the most time. So you might want to either change the place where you spend the most time at, or you might want to reduce the food availability where you spend the most time. By doing so, you can easily solve this problem of being overweight. By doing this exercise, we have identified the root cause of the problem, and once the root cause is identified, it becomes very easy to cater to whatever the problem is that you are experiencing. So as a recap, what you want to do is you want to see what problems you are experiencing on the surface. Then you want to consider each problem individually, and you want to perform root cause analysis, which is essentially asking why is this problem occurring, and you want to repeat this exercise 2 to 3 times. And once you reach a root cause that seems under your control, that is when you stop, and that is when you start taking action towards actually catering to the root cause that has been identified. And this is how root cause analysis can help you solve so many problems in your life. I myself have been using root cause analysis for solving a lot of my problems, from deciding what is the root desire behind something that I want to do. I have used root cause analysis to identify what I really want when I get the urge to buy certain things. I have also used root cause analysis to identify what is it that is reducing the quality of my work products, which are essentially assignments and projects, deliverables. And I have used this technique to identify what characteristics is my work product was missing, which reduces its quality and thus reduces the probability of my getting full marks. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.